Hey then, guys. I'm just going to wait for a few people to come. I'm not going to be hanging around too long, but I just thought it'd be nice to jump on and just have a chat with you all. Let me see. Let's get some numbers in here. Let's get some numbers in here. Give me 1 second. All right. We should start to get some numbers filling up. How's everybody doing? Can you guys hear me all right? Hey, wow. All the messages all came at once. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm all right. Awesome, actually. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I don't really mind who how many people sort of jump on the stream. It's really just sort of out of the spur of the moment type of thing. Brim of hat casting shadow. That's the whole point. I do that deliberately just so the brim of the hat casts a shadow. That's that's the whole point. If I kind of look up like that, then you can see me. But anyway, it is what it is. No, but thanks anyway. Yeah, I'm good. I'm fantastic, guys. Fantastic. I'm good, Robert. Thank you. Yeah, so I just thought I'd jump on because, there's a couple of reasons. The markets are a little bit crazy at the minute. Obviously, a bit of a drop on Evergrow coin, so people have, been DMing me all over the place, asking, really, like I welcome all DMs. Obviously, I spend a lot of time. I'd say 3-4 hours a day, and that's not a joke. Talking to people, and I think that I guess the one thing that I really want to emphasize is, although I'm happy to, to try and help as best I can and educate and whatever, just kind of be there for whoever wants me to be there. The one thing that I will say is that I have absolutely no control, over what Evergrow does or what BBFT does or what I'm just trying to think of projects now. Whatever, you get my point. I've got no control over what any of these projects do. I talk about them objectively, and I try to stay as neutral as I possibly can. And as an investor, obviously my job is to make sure that my investments are, safe. My investments are in places where I, I'm confident and believe, that they're going to be around for a while. So, yeah. I just want to kind of put that out there because, again, I'm not a wizard. So yeah, I mean, I'm at your mercy, guys. You guys tell me what you want. I can just sit here and ramble for the next 20 minutes, but at the end of the day, this is down to what you guys want. So I'm gonna wait for you guys to answer, ask some questions, and I will just be chilling in the background. So Ashley's asking, "Hi mate, just wondering what your thoughts are on the delays. Seems to be a few disgruntled investors at the moment." Yeah. I believe there are obviously a lot of investors that are disgruntled. It's a tricky one, and I'll explain why. Personally, okay, it doesn't matter to me when price hit 28. I'll just say openly now, I bought some more. It's something that obviously I've been watching for a very long time. That liquidity pool's been down there for a very long time. I've been talking about it forever, between 38 and 28. I mean, I've explained, as best as I can, everything that I could possibly go through. I'm very clinical about the way I say things in my videos, so I can always go back and point at things if I have to. So with that said, delays are an interesting one because you can look at it in two ways. You can say, and I'm trying to be neutral here, right? You can say some people, because I read a lot of tweets and stuff, and people say things like, you said one thing. Yeah, so they'll be saying to Sam or to the team or to Evergrow community, whatever, you said that this was going to happen on a particular day, and then you've been dragging it out and it's been inconsistent and so on. Now, if I sit here and try and take that away from these people and say, well, actually, you guys are wrong and everything else, then I'm not doing, I'm not doing anybody any justice, because ultimately, I think everybody has a right to say the things that are correct. Yeah. The bottom line is, if people are saying these things and they can, show cause, then it's obviously true. Now, the reason why is something that we don't know, right? And unless something is stated, then obviously we don't know what's going on. It's very difficult, to kind of point the finger and say, well, they're doing this and that and the other. I'll tell you why I'm being really careful how I say this, because if, for argument's sake, something drops next week and price explodes to the upside, and then we really start to gain some momentum, I think people will still have a problem, but most of those disgruntled investors will just look for an excuse to sell. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. I don't like delays. I think, and I'll just tell you openly now, I think, and this is just me, I think that coming from a background of, owning businesses and delivering, right, I think if you say something, you should follow through. That's just me. Yeah. Or just don't say it until you can follow through. That I've always been like that. That's just my character. That's the way I've always been. And that's just how it is. That's my opinion. Now, in terms of whether or not does that affect me, did the delays affect me in any way? No. Again, I've always maintained I've got a full year. I've got 1 full year to see what's happening. I mean, I check everything, guys. I check wallets. I look at BSC scan. I go through, a lot of detail, a lot of things. If I see something that doesn't make sense to me, I'm an investor. I'll pull. That's it. Done. But I see absolutely no cause for concern personally. That's that. Again, I'm very confident in my investment. For the new project, will holding RMTX give any advantage when also holding RFTX? Let me read that again. For the new project, will holding RMTX, so you're holding RMTX, give any advantage when also holding RFTX? Yes, because if you're holding RMTX, a direct effect of RFTX or any of the other entities that are part of the ecosystem will ultimately be, feeding back up to RMTX. So it's a question of, when you look at all of these entities, and this is the best way to look at it, right? When you look at entities within the Ramatic ecosystem, we're doing things to tailor to everybody effectively. So let's say, for example, you're looking for, sort of longer term investments. Yeah. Then you'd be thinking more, more in line with RFTX, right? Ramatic Finance. If you're looking, for a project that, if you're looking for a, something like Ramatic, i.e. RMTX, because it is, reflecting in a token that is also a long-term, or has long-term value, then you'll be focused more on sort of RMTX. Maybe another service will be more geared towards, and I'm not saying this is the case, I'm just, throwing some things out. Maybe another service will be more geared towards, shorter term, growth, for example, or higher risk, or who knows, right? So it's about tailoring to everybody's needs. And to be honest, it's about staying ahead of the curve, right? Which I'm not going to say too much about it now, but as time goes by, you'll see that, I don't like using, I'm not going to use that word. You'll see that there's a lot of forward thinking that's gone into this. We're connecting the dots going forward, guys, right? Hello, LSP. I'll see this after. Now I'm watching Champions League. Yeah, man, no worries, George. Shall we start with Bitcoin? It's still acting. Any updates to your thinking? Yeah, sure. Bitcoin. Let's go. So, Bitcoin. Wait a minute. Am I on the wrong? Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I am. I'm on the wrong. Yeah, give me 1 second. I just need to switch over because I'm on the wrong window. There we go. Okay, so what do I think to Bitcoin? Let's take a look. Bitcoin. Not very organized today, to be honest. Yeah, so Bitcoin, I think that Bitcoin is being a little bit antsy. You know, there's an argument to be made that we're going lower, and I've maintained this for quite some time. If we go over to the daily chart, you know, we're staying within this sort of area here. The longer we stay here, you know, the worse it gets. I was actually in the process of tweeting something earlier. I was just taking a walk and I was tweeting, and I deleted the tweet because I just didn't, you know, I didn't have time to kind of really think about it because I was walking up the street. I saw somebody. We ended up having a chat and everything. But the tweet was going to read, and I'll say it now. When price stays in one place for a long period of time, it's doing one of two things. It's accumulating or it's distributing orders. So it's working through orders. Yeah. So the longer Bitcoin stays down here, you know, it's doing one of two things. It's either doing buys, loads of buys, because, and I'll say this first, there's an argument to be made that when price is going sideways in the same area over and over and over again, that price, there's an equal amount of buys and sells. This simply isn't true. This makes no sense. If you really think about it, it actually makes no sense, right? But that's been the common idea going, you know, throughout many years of investing ideas and investing methodologies, trading methodologies. It's not the case. What price is actually doing, it's accumulating either buy side liquidity or sell side liquidity, right? These are just terms that I use, right, to represent what I'm seeing on the chart. You can use any words you want: buy, sells, bullish, bearish. It really doesn't matter. Price is doing one of those two things. It's either ready to go up or ready to go down, but it's accumulating on one side or the other more. And that's why you get that imbalance. And that's when you see price start to move away from that level in said direction. The problem is, because Bitcoin's staying here, right? Everybody's looking around. Is it the rate hike? You know, is it global macroeconomic stuff? Is it, you know, this happening, that happening? What is affecting Bitcoin? I actually watched a video recently from Data Dash, right? Really like the guy, brilliant. And he was explaining, you know, he was using some analytics and stuff. He was talking about volume in a specific way, and he was saying that there's a lot of, you know, disparity between. The reason I like this particular video is because he was talking about the buys and sells and actually seeing those buys and sells and the disparity between the two. There's actually a lot of buying going on down here. And this is why Bitcoin's finding it very difficult to get through all of this, you know, and start to continue its way to the downside. Now, here's the problem. And this is really important. If nobody else listens to anything else I say today, listen to this, you know, because it's really important. And I feel really strongly about what I'm about to say, because I've seen this so many times. If there are buy orders that price is working through, it's like a floor. So once all of that's gone, there's nothing left. And price is going to accumulate all of that and then start to drop. It doesn't sound like it makes sense, but think about it as just a brick wall. Price is basically banging this brick wall until eventually, once that wall is gone, it's just going to fall out of bed and off it goes again, right? So it's the workable flow. What's price doing? Is it buying? Is it selling? But either way, it's working through a bunch of orders right now, and once it's done, we're going to see a directional shift. Personally, with the weekly chart, just looking at the weekly chart, nothing else, are we really seeing any indication that we're going to explode to the upside? Not really. And because we're so close to this liquidity pool, maintaining this area, staying focused in this area, for me, I just see downside potential. But again, it's all confirmation-based trading, investing. We need to see something. If we go over to Binance, I mean, this does look like it wants to go. So I don't know. I mean, the markets are really finicky right now. Just going to be really patient and just kind of wait for something to happen. Again, I posted a tweet. I don't really care whether it's up or down now. Just something, man. Just something. Give us something. Let's get the markets moving again, man. So what do you think about the BTC bounce? Yeah, not much, Robert, to be honest. As I've just said, obviously going through the chart. I saw a tweet that was sent your way referencing EGC, referring to a comment you made in one of your videos that if EGC went to that price, then the project is dead. Did you say that? Thoughts? No, I didn't. I've never said that. And if you actually read that tweet and read a reply to that tweet, somebody actually said that's not what he said. The person that replied to that tweet, I've got a lot of respect for, because he obviously listens to the videos and says exactly what, you know, what I was saying in those videos and all the analysis that I've done up to this point. I've come to the point, guys. I've come to the point now, you know, with my kind of content creation and what I'm trying to do in this space, where I'm going to be a little bit more sort of brash with people, in a nice way, obviously. But I don't want to be enabling that type of thinking, because if somebody genuinely, really think about the logic here. If I actually said that, you know, if price goes to, you know, a bunch of zeros, 27, then the project is dead, right? What does that say about me as a content creator? On top of that, I've never mentioned 27, ever. Not once. And I can confirm that. I can actually tell you, hands down, I've never mentioned 27 in any of my analysis. It's always been 38 to 28, always. So I don't know what people are hearing. It's actually scary. It scares me. It really scares me that people say that. Because you're scared of Sam. I'm not sure what you mean, Crypto Iron Man. Can you clarify what you're talking about? Words are your bond to one another, right? Yes, absolutely. They are. I appreciate your thoughts. I'm fully aware, especially in this space, things don't run smoothly. I'll continue to hold for a while. I think the BB buyback and burn situation hasn't helped keep up the good work, pal. Yeah. Look, guys, I'm an investor just like you. I want to see something happen pretty soon. You know, I'm kind of getting bored, to be honest. You know, I am kind of getting bored. I missed the reply. Thanks. That's all right. No, you're welcome. No problem, Mike. It's fine. I just want to know what Crypto Iron Man is saying, because you're scared of Sam. I'm confused, Crypto Iron Man. Can you clarify? I'm hoping he's still online, so we'll see. But yeah, so while I'm waiting for him to say whatever he's going to say, I'm just wondering, is there anything else that we can go through? But, you know, Binance is looking good in terms of other projects out there and things that are happening in, you know, in the space itself. I tell you what I did do. I got a bunch of, you know, PooCoin charts up, and I basically listed all of the sort of popular reflection tokens, and I was looking at them all side by side. There's a lot of projects that are actually getting pounded right now. Not all of them, but the majority of projects are getting pounded. Great opportunities, I'll say it that way, you know, to fill up your bags and stuff. So yeah, I think it was because it was mentioned as under 28. The next level was 0, was meant to mean there isn't another liquidity pool underneath it. Base level, you know, misconstructed. Yeah, maybe Don, maybe. What I actually said was, and I clarified this in a future, like in a video after that. I was saying that if price gets down there, exactly what Jam Blackberries just said. You know, if price goes down there's only two things, you know, that will happen, right? Either price goes to 0, okay, either price goes to 0 or it starts to move higher, right? And then I clarified it just like Jam Blackberries just said, right? You know, 100% thought it would go to 0. I made it absolutely clear that simply wasn't the case, you know, and I realized that people were starting to misunderstand what I was saying, and you know, and I said in that particular video, I have to be very careful how I'm talking. I'm going to start to be a little bit more sort of on point with the things that I say and how I say them, because people are misunderstanding some of my logic and methodology. So, you know, what happens is when the 38 to 28 liquidity pool is pretty much gone now, right? So it's not pretty much, it's gone. So what happens now is, if price continues to go lower, it's going to be very, very hard to get out of that hole. Very, very difficult to get out of that hole. This is just basic trading, basic understanding, right, of trends, basic understanding of what's happening. But I don't believe that that's going to happen. Now that the SEC is ramping up their enforcement team, how do you think it will impact coins like EGC and RMTX, if at all? I think it's going to impact the space dramatically, but I don't think it will impact projects that are doing things right. Yeah. Any project out there, right, that thinks they're getting away with stuff right now, because I could tell you there are a lot of projects out there, right, that think they're getting away with stuff. That's not going to last. That's not going to last at all. There's going to be a lot of projects out there that are going to not be around, by the end of this year. These bad practices and these things, it's not going to last in this space. I'm still waiting for Crypto Iron Man to say what he's talking about. Let me just go back through the comments and just kind of rethink what I was saying, because I'm curious about what he's talking about. And I know this is slightly delayed, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's banging on about, to be honest. Sorry guys, I'm trying to kind of work out what this Crypto Iron Man is saying, because you're scared of Sam. Was he making a reference to somebody else? Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, if he's not going to clarify, then I don't. That's what can I say? I ain't scared of no one. I'll just make that absolutely clear right now. So, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I like, look, when I jump online, I'm quite happy to answer anything and everything. I've got, no problems. It's fair game. It's all public, obviously. If people want to ask something, they're more than welcome to ask. Yeah, thanks, Jacobite. I appreciate that, man. People can ask whatever they want to ask. More than happy to to answer any question. And I've said this before. It's the reason I can do that is because I believe myself to be very honest, and I believe myself to be experienced. So it really makes no difference. I'm quite happy to answer any questions that come my way. It's unlikely that somebody's going to surprise me with something. That's the point I'm trying to say, because there's nothing to say. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if he was making a reference to me being scared of Sam, then I'm not really sure what he's banging on about, to be honest. To be fair, one of the things it's unfortunate, because a lot of people, that are, or at least have a problem in this space, and kind of run around, doing the rounds and attacking other people and whatever else. There's this kind of running theme that I'm biased towards EGC, which I find absolutely hilarious. For me, I have a responsibility, and I do this with all projects, obviously, to be very careful what I say, because ultimately people may act on the information that I give, right? So when I say Evergrow coin is going down to 38, for example, right? If I came on and I was like, guys, listen, you've seen me do it before. I'm very good at this. I'm telling you, Evergrow coin is going down to 28. But what's that going to do? What are people going to start thinking? I can't do that. So I have to talk about it in a way where I can verify my analysis. I can talk it through. I could sit with any one of you for 3 hours and explain every single tick of price action that I go through online, regardless of whatever I'm looking at. That's because I have the confidence to do so. So yeah, I'm going to put it to bed. One last call, Crypto Iron Man, what are you talking about? And then after that, I really don't care. So we'll leave it at that. Keep up the good work, LSPTV. I know you're the ultimate whale in all these coins. Please have mercy on us. Thank you for the wisdom. Oh man, no. But I appreciate the comment, though. Thank you. So yeah, man. I'll hang around for another 10 minutes or so. If anybody else wants to throw anything else out, that's fine. And I will jump on that. Have you taken any interest in any of the other reflection coins out there, i.e. Y5, etc.? Not really. Not really. I said in a previous live stream that I did, I was attempting to kind of go through Wi-Fi, vet the vet the project, look at it, They never got back to me, so I just kind of got tired and left it at that. But yeah, nothing in Y5. There's a lot of projects like let's say, I don't know, maybe 10 popular projects that are spoken about quite a lot, right? And when you look at all of these projects, I prefer to be invested in, say, 3 or 4, and then focus on those, than being invested in 9 or 10 or 15 different projects, or trying to my strategy in this space is never to go from one project to the next, just looking for a pump, or just looking. It's a viable strategy. Absolutely. It works, but that's not, I can't be bothered. Like, I don't want to be moving money all over the place, and it's tiring enough jumping on Pancake Swap and trying to, going through all of that clearing cash crap and everything else. I just can't be bothered to be buying a project at launch, making a little bit of money, leaving some in there, grabbing some of that money, moving it into another project. Oh, God, it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. I'd rather just, focus on 3, 4, and then just continue to build the bags in those projects. The ones I believe in, obviously. What do you think about the Fed rate hike today? No surprise that they were right where they expected the rate hike. Yep. I see the stock market and crypto going up for one bill run, then crashing. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I think the underlying problem's still there. Obviously, inflation's a big problem. Let's be frank. When has the Fed ever been right? Historically, they're just pretty much wrong all the time. People just kind of get fed up with it and just say, we're just going to let them do whatever they're going to do. But because it causes an injection of volatility, and it causes, wild swings in the markets that can be taken advantage of, people keep an eye on these numbers, predominantly in the Forex market. In terms of crashing, I think it's a hard one, man. It's a hard one. My gut tells me we're in for a pretty interesting, few months, maybe into the summer. I think I'm not really liking the way Bitcoin's behaving, to be fair. Thank you for all the answers so far. Have you any preference on how the EGC burn would be utilized, daily, weekly, etc.? It would be good if some of that DigiFinex tax could burn tokens at this low. Yeah, for me, I think a consistent, steady burn over, daily makes sense, weekly both, they both make sense. But I think a steady, consistent burn rather than a big burn. Yeah. Big burns don't really do anything for, for price. They just, they create huge candles, and then people just take those, as an advantage, to get out. But it would have to be consistent. I think steady, consistent burns make more sense. Steady, consistent, and more frequent burns, to answer your question. Yep, thanks, Robert. No problem. Looking forward to the AMA, man. Happy for you. Seems perfect fit for you and the Rheumatic guys. Thanks, man. Yeah. A lot of time and effort's gone into that. What do you think physical currency will turn into as crypto becomes widely adopted? I can't see not having a physical currency at all. I think physical cash, fiat currency, will become less and less used. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to make it harder to use it. Okay. And you will have to pay more to use physical currency. Whether or not it will cease to exist, I think it's just going to be a moot point, because when you have, central bank digital currencies, when you have cryptocurrency, when you have ease of use, when you have mass adoption and so on, people, predominantly have a smartphone. They're always using their smartphones and so on. So it's very unlikely that you're going to have a situation where people will even want to accept cash. This is the problem. They're making it so difficult now that when you're, when you go to a shop, for example, it's very difficult, to use cash. There's places that I get turned away, because I'm trying to use cash, which is absolutely absurd because legally legally you cannot be. This is in the UK, right? And this is based on common law. You can't be turned away or refused business just because you're using cash. Yeah, it's actually against the law. But not a lot of people know that, and you have to know what to say and things like this. Most of the people can't be bothered, so they're just like, yeah, fine, they'll get their card out. But the point being, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to use cash. So ultimately, we'll get to a point where people will just get fed up and just say, well, it's easier to use my phone, or it's easier to use my watch, or it's easier, to use my wallets on my phone, or whatever. Yeah, they don't, Alex. Alex is saying about fractional reserve banking is crazy, and the banks don't even have the money if you wanted to take it out. They don't. Of course they don't. Of course. Everybody takes their money out all at the same time. This is all basic stuff. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. You guys know this. If all the money's taken out the banks, over maybe a couple of day period, the entire system crashes. There's absolutely no question about that. It will crash. Yep, COVID has sped that up as well. Yep. People are afraid to use certain things. People don't want to touch stuff. Which I've always found a bit odd because the money over here in the UK is actually coated with something that prevents anything sticking to it. But anyway, let's not get into that. So you're not allowed to use cash, but you can be given a receipt, a paper receipt. Okay, sure. A bit of sarcasm there for you. I just. And that's not to take away from COVID, obviously. Not at all. I know people who suffered greatly with it, but my point being, it's the cash thing. This is what I find, sort of laughable. They just use these. What's the word? They use these. Oh man, what's the word now? Catastrophes, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. To benefit themselves. I think that's wrong. When there's people suffering, you shouldn't do things like that. We all just want to get on with our lives. We just want to be able to, make an honest living. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, never let a crisis go to waste. That's exactly it. I know it's a bit boring just staring at the screen, guys, but I am moving around a little bit, so hopefully that's all right. Order through chaos, yeah. So look, I mean, just to kind of finish on a nice note, there's a lot coming. Not just with what I've got going on, but there's a lot coming, guys. There's a lot coming. Obviously, I think these markets are evolving very quickly. I think that we're in a position where there's going to be a lot of opportunity to take advantage of. And excuse me. And if you make sure that you're paying attention, then I think everybody will do all right. Would you predict we see a new world reserve currency within the next decade? And if so, what do you think it will be? I believe we will, actually. I posted a video a very long time ago saying that the dollar was going to go down to sort of 80 something, whatever it was. I do believe it's going to happen within the next decade, maybe sooner, but I don't know what that reserve currency would be. There's an argument to be made that the reserve currency would be a central bank digital currency, but which country, right? So let's say, for example, just for argument's sake, if it's between, say, the United States dollar as a central bank digital currency, or if it's between, China's currency, or if it's between, one of these big sort of superpowers. Which one would it be? I don't know, but I don't think the dollar's. I don't think the dollar's it. I think the dollar's had its day, and I think it's going to get pounded. To be honest, you can't keep printing that much money, okay, and it not it not make have a catastrophic effect. Right. If you look at, there's actually a really good video out on YouTube by Ray Dalio who explains this, these kind of cycles and whatnot. He actually, I think the title of the video is, new orders or new world orders, or something like that. It's a fantastic video. Actually explains all of this, in great detail. I do like Ray Dalio. He's brilliant. He likes, the way he puts things together is very, very good. Would you rather hold your entire bag or sell a little now to have some liquidity to buy in case it dips? Right. Here's the thing. My strategy has always been to have cash on hand always. I'm currently sitting on stable coins at the moment. So I've got powder dry. I'm just waiting for opportunities. When the market's like this and I'm unsure, I move. I don't pull out of positions that I'm comfortable with. So basically, if there's a position there that I'm building on and I'm adding to, I would stop adding in market conditions like this. If there was a position that I'm not happy with, then I will pull money out of that position and put it into stable coins in market conditions like this. Or if there's an opportunity that I feel is better, than the one I'm already in, I think, very long and hard about pulling money out of an investment, especially one that I'm down on, to go into another investment in market conditions like this. I hope that helps. I'm a bit confused about stability of prices between chains, cross-chain token. When the price from one chain is too high or low comparing to the other chain or to another chain, it's moving liquidity between chains. I'm a bit confused. Stability of price between chains. It depends. If you've got one supply, then it just causes arbitrage or arbitrage, however you want to call it. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, sorry, guys. Yeah, it causes arbitrage as long as you're dealing with one circulating supply on 3 chains or 4 chains or whatever, which you can do. If you had separate supplies on each of those chains, it's different because they've got their own ecosystem. And in terms of stability, that's about liquidity, having stable liquidity on all 3 chains. But again, if it's cross-chain, one vaulted, it's different. That keep prices similar. Yeah, it's all about liquidity, Jose. It's all about controlling liquidity. But as long as it's on one circulating supply, it's fine. It just offers an opportunity for arbitrage. New World Order, yes, awesome video. 100-year cycle, yes, Alex. Yeah, exactly. Such a fantastic video. He does loads of good stuff, Ray Dalio. The economy in 30 minutes. The economy in 30 minutes. Oh, sorry, the video. Yeah, the economy in 30 minutes. Yeah. Sorry, Ray Dalio's video. Yeah, sorry, Vic. You're welcome for answering the questions. Yet, no problem. It does help a lot. Thank you. You're welcome, Alex. Can I ask one more? What's your Bitcoin top price prediction? Top price prediction. In terms of upside, I believe that Bitcoin will hit 100,000 at some point. But the reason for this, and I'm going to be really clear and explain this, that I believe Bitcoin, will go to 100,000 is because it's the perfect number for a huge transfer of wealth. Yeah. So they drive Bitcoin to, when I say they, I don't know who these people are, but Bitcoin is driven to 100,000. Everybody gets excited, whatever, and then they just dump on everybody. We've seen it so many times throughout history, but these are just my thoughts. No, nobody's getting yelled at. That's not what it is. I've got really bad allergies. And obviously with the temperature changes, and it's been raining today as well over here in the UK. So they really start to flare up and my nose is itching really bad. That's all it is. Can't imagine LSP yelling. I don't. I'm very sorry. I'm very mellow, to be honest. EGC dumping, is it? Let's take a look. Now, bearing in mind, before I pull the chart up, you're saying EGC is dumping. Now we know before that EGC was at 28. It's been at 20, 28, 27 for quite some time. It's been stable there for a little bit. It did go up to 28, 29. I think the last price I saw was 30 on PooCoin. So I'm curious to see what you're saying, EGC dumping, whether it's right now or whether you're just saying, you know, EGC is dumping. There's a reason I've just gone through all that, by the way. Yeah, so current price is at 30. So the reason I just did all of that before I before I got the chart up is because I want to illustrate a point, which I think is going to be really helpful, you know, for anybody that's interested in listening. When you said, Chad, EGC is dumping, think about what you just did. You came on a live stream, okay, and you said to everybody in the live stream that EGC is dumping, right? And obviously I've been tracking, you know, EGC for forever, right? And I've been watching it, and I've, you know, been paying attention to it, and I've saw it, and it's constantly on one of my tabs all the time, you know, so I know where the price of EGC is. So you saying EGC dumping is a statement that EGC is actually dumping, you know, and then people may start to panic or may go to the EGC chart and realize, oh, actually it's not dumping. It's already dumped. Yeah. There's a big difference. And this is one of the biggest problems in the cryptocurrency space, predominantly in the cryptocurrency space, is that people are not looking at what's actually happening, and it's affecting the decision making. Okay. Now, I'm not saying nobody has a right or that they are wrong in the things that they are saying about Evergrow coin, because, you know, things aren't being delivered, people are getting frustrated. I get that. I understand that. That's fine. But we have to at least try to use, you know, language in the correct way, because it causes inconsistencies in what we're seeing, right? Zyrtec seems to do the trick for me. Yeah, I've tried everything, Don, you know, or every antihistamine you can imagine, you know, it's just whatever. Rheumatic Finance, any additional update? Yes, the AMA will be this Saturday at 10 p.m. GMT time. Come to the RFTX Discord. The link's in the description below, or will be, you know, once this goes live or posted or whatever. Do you think projects should do more to resolve real-world issues through innovation? Yes. Yes, I do. I really do. I think what GNL's doing is brilliant. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Green Life, is it Green Life Energy or whatever they call themselves, GNL? Some great stuff going on over there. But I think innovation, and to be honest, I think a lot of these projects are actually trying to do that, but they're being suppressed, you know, by you know, the powers that be, because they can see that this technology has the power to change things in this space and in the world, really. Thanks for the nod to my Twitter reply. You're welcome, Brian, and thanks for saying that. To be honest, because it just shows that you're paying attention. Chad. Sorry, I'm driving. It was meant to be a question. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right, Chad. And obviously, look, when I say the things that I say, I may seem monotone or condescending or anything. Yeah, I'm not. Like, you guys should know by now, I'm absolutely not condescending, or at least I'm not trying to be. But it was just an opportunity to illustrate a few points. That's all. In terms of your question, EGC dumping. You know, or if we turn it into a question, is EGC, you know, dumping, whatever? It depends how you look at it, right? Let me tell you guys this way. I had 38 to 28 on my chart for quite some time. I know it's a liquidity pool. I'm expecting price to go there. So when it gets there, is that a dump for me? No, because I'm aware of it. I know it's going to happen, and so on. Now, somebody who, you know, maybe isn't, you know, versed in charting, or isn't, you know, familiar with, you know, traditional finance or whatever, right? He's just kind of new to the space, been around for maybe 6 months or so. For them, a candle like that is scary. And I understand that. I absolutely understand that. I've been in all these candles, guys. God, listen, don't make the mistake of thinking I haven't been through everything that you guys have been through. I've done it. I've done it. I've been in halted stocks. I've had gut wrenching. I've been sick. I've actually physically thrown up because my money, disappeared in 5 minutes. I've been destroyed in the markets, absolutely destroyed. So when you have that kind of understanding and experience, it's easier for me to be able to draw on that experience to say some of the things that I say, and everything that I say is, with intent, to make you guys better investors and traders, and more disciplined investors and traders. That's what it's always ever been about. Always. If it's between a project or the community, I'm picking the community every time, without fail. Absolutely no question. So to answer the question directly, because I don't want to kind of go around in circles, and that's for Chad. I don't feel that EGC is dumping. I think it's a great opportunity. I think some investors are getting fed up, and probably pulling out of Evergrow coin. That's absolutely fine. I mean, again, I don't own Evergrow coin. I own my investment. So I think that's the best way to say it. Could you go over your Rematic coin on how holding will benefit Rematic EGC? I thought I heard you say it would on one of your videos. Also, why choose a similar name? Okay, Cody. So in terms of how RFTX, Rematic Finance, is going to benefit the Rematic coin, i.e. RMTX. So I'll say that again. How Rematic Finance or RFTX is going to benefit RMTX. Okay. RMTX holds or will, on launch, hold a stake in Rematic Finance. Yeah, everything that Rematic Finance generates and so on, is going to go back to Rematic EGC or RMTX, and then that will be used for various different things. Some burns, this, that, the other, and so on. And then ultimately that will directly impact and benefit, RMTX holders. Now, in terms of why choose a similar name, it's not a similar name, it's the same name by design, because it's an entity that is a subsidiary or an affiliated with Rematic tokens. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate that, man. A lot of folks don't have a mentor as you, LSPTV. When I talk to my friends, I speak from what I learn from you. Your words trickle into many communities. Thank you. Listen, again, I mean, that humbles me, to be honest. I'm not. Look, guys, listen. Everything that I do, obviously, is for a purpose, right? And you guys have seen some of the things that get said about me, which I find absolutely ridiculous and amusing. There's a lot of, and before I say this, just to be clear, it doesn't bother me. I'm saying it to illustrate a point. What you're saying, Alex, right, is the whole purpose of this. For everything that I do online, to hopefully make people not make, but if I can make a difference in somebody's life, which I already had. You want to see some of the message. If I had the permission to send or to show some of the messages, of thanks that I get from people, then I'd show you. But I don't. I don't want to, show anybody's identity or whatever else. But that's I don't look for that, but it's nice because it means whatever little I'm doing is making a difference. But I've had man. I've had some crazy stuff said to me by content creators, who anyway. I've had crazy stuff said about me, and I think it's really sad, to be honest, because it doesn't serve a purpose. Communities, are something like that seeps into communities, just causes more dissension, it causes more animosity, it causes more irritation in a space where we should all be promoting the idea of decentralized finance to keep us all safe from the clutches of centralization, and all of this bickering and back and forth and everything else. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Amen investment. I'm not sure, Daniel, what you mean. Amen investment. Honestly, if I hadn't found LSPTV, I'm sure I would be one of those investors freaking out. You make sense to me, bottom line. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate that. Second that. Thank you very much, Don and Dramatic. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I've always been honest and open, guys. Always, yeah. And I always want to make sure that whatever it is we're discussing or talking about, makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, I want people to say it doesn't make sense. Explain. One of the biggest problems with crypto is many investors have no experience regarding investing and demand 100% profit in a week. That's not how it works, and you doing a good job educating watchers. Appreciate that, Jose, and I agree with you. It's the when culture, isn't it? And it's perpetuated by a few people who've made it, really big, or got lucky, or however you want to say it, and then that's just the expected norm now, that everybody should be making these types of returns, and it's absolutely absurd. It just doesn't happen that way. Been following since last year. So much respect for you. Can't wait for your project where I can finally have peace of mind. I hope so. El Crypto, we're going to do everything that we can to make that a success. So yeah, I'm gonna call it there, guys. I'll go make myself a drink, just relax for a bit, and I'm going to wait 30 seconds to a minute just in case there's a slight delay, for people to for the comments to filter through, if there are any, and then we'll take it from there. RMTX, okay, Daniel. Amen investment. Oh, maybe auto corrected to Amen. Okay, RMTX investment. Again, I'm still not sure what you're asking. RMTX investment. You're welcome, Don. No problem. You're welcome, Louis. If you can, Daniel, can you just clarify what you mean? No problem, Cody. You're welcome, man. Give me 1 second, guys. So yeah, I'll call it there. Daniel, if you didn't get the answer to your question and you're in my Discord, type it in there if you can. If not, oh, sorry. Okay. Either way, if you didn't get what you wanted, I'm the CEO of RFTX, correct? Rheumatic Finance. That's right. I know I hate autocorrect on phone. It's so frustrating. This is why I use my computer a lot more now than my mobile, my phone. But you guys know where to find me anyway. In all the places I'm normally at. So if something wasn't answered or something wasn't done or whatever, just message me and I'll get back to you. So we'll leave it at that, guys. Again, thank you so much for spending your time with me for the last hour. Appreciate that, as always. And I'll catch you on the next one. I'll try and be a little bit more organized in terms of letting everybody know when I'm going live. It was kind of a spur of moment thing with EGC dropping. I just want to kind of jump on and just give my thoughts on that. All right. So ciao, take care, and I will speak to you very soon. See you later, guys. Yeah, I'm just going to say a quick thank you to Daniel. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. You're welcome, guys. Thank you. Take care.